Namaste. Sitting this morning, something popped up that might be good to speak of really quickly about insights and aha moments where the light bulb goes off. And when it comes to non-duality, Advaita, everything, people sometimes listen to realized beings speak of Advaita, okay, and being in the moment and being that singular is. And suddenly one has this, they call it their awakening experience, aha moment. Oh my God, I got it. And, there's a shift that takes place. But it's a shift into another intellectual understanding. Okay, it's not realization. Okay, things have not deconstructed. It's another meism that thinks it's expanded into what this is, but it's not that. Okay, it's not realization. It's not moksha. Okay, it's another identification with another thought expression. It's the conundrum of the ego mind thinking it has expanded into this big state. But it again self-constricts into this ego form. It's something that's seen by and it tried to be attached to. Okay, so it's still happening to a construct of ego. Even though it feels very expanded, and one thinks one has understood it and gotten it, and therefore it must be realization. But it's not realization, it's far, far from it. It's another identification into something that feels more expanded. Okay, so one thinks, again, if they can hear it enough times and start to do Advaita speak, that's all that's needed. If I can say the words, I must be that. Well, the words are not that. The words have never been that, and the words, again, are all still dualistic in nature. No matter how one tries to describe, the words are never it. They are simply indicators and pointers, but the pointer is an object, okay? So please don't take aha moments as to be something other than they are, which is another expanded form of mind play. Okay, maybe it's a little bigger understanding, or what one thinks is an understanding, than what one currently holds, but it's still in the realm of intellect happening to a persona that is clinging to a new idea of expansion. Okay, so I just wanted to put that out there. What are these aha moments? Or when one has a quick glimpse. Sometimes when one is around a realized master, the student can have a moment where the mind stills and they go into a feeling of a very expanded state. Okay. But when they leave the teacher, eventually that expansion is going to contract again. So this is, again, only opening one to this this reality that there can be expansion that takes place, and there can be, if one continues, there can be a falling away and a deconstructing, but you've got to quit clinging to the and being absorbed by the world of Maya or divisionary. Okay. If you keep going back to Maya, the divisionary, and clinging to it, fighting with it, whichever you're doing, you're going to continue to constrict into this separation of I, me, persona, okay? And even though one has maybe glimpsed something and can speak of it, they are not liberated, okay? There is no liberation there. There are many teachers doing satsang that have had glimpses, therefore they can speak of it. They've had a feeling of an expanded state, or they rest in oneness. Oneness is not realization. Okay, oneness is still subdivided between the many. Oneness is sort of like one, but it's not really one. Okay, that's how I describe oneness. And oneness is pretty easy to get to. It's that very expanded heart state where one feels the underlying one feels that underlying energy that's permeating everything. But the mind is still, and the persona is still there, and it's still very much in the Dvaita experience. So even though there has been some expansion there, it's still, the persona is still speaking from a meism. And even though they may sound very convincing to those that do not know, okay, their talk sounds very enlightened, okay, but there's still this persona constriction in place, and it's not coming from moksha, it's coming from what they have heard, what they're regurgitating about Advaita, what they're remembering about Advaita, you know. It's kind of like Andrew Cohen when he says when he sits down to speak, this expansion comes again. When I give satsang, I sit and the expansion comes. Well, no, it doesn't come and go. When it's coming and going, and likewise Eckhart Tolle, he says when he's done speaking, he has to stay away from everyone or he starts wearing these hats again. In other words, he's going back into persona. So he's had an experience, and he can speak of experience and tries to continue to stay in that experience. But what is trying to stay? If there's something trying to stay in that, then it's not yet a true falling away. It's not moksha yet. It is not that stilled perception. There are still ideas in mind that's coming into play. Okay, it's not yet that solidified into realization. Turyatada, sahaj, okay, effortless. There is still something there of effort. As long as there is still something there of effort trying to hold on to it, then there's still string of persona. There is still something that needs to be cut before it is full-blown realization. Okay, so I'm going to end this video here, and it's just to, again, be aware, insights, and a quick experience of, a glimpse of, okay, shows into an expansion, but it's not liberating, it's not moksha, it's not something that is ongoing, sustainable. Just because one can speak of it doesn't mean that it is a permanent stilled mind. As long as there are thoughts coming and going, okay, one has further to go. There's still identification within the Maya realm, the divisionary realm of illusion, okay, that dream state that's taking place. Okay, namaste. Have a great morning. Bye.